This is the Midland Home Service from East Anglia.
There was an old man and he lived in the wood, and his trade was selling brooms. He had one son, and his name it was John. And he laid abed till it was noon, bright noon, and he laid abed till it was noon.
The third of 4 programmes of traditional songs sung by Sam Larner of Winterton, Norfolk. The introducer is Philip Donnelan.
First and foremost, Sam Larner, like his contemporaries in Winterton, was a fisherman. It was that sort of life that gave them the independence and the wit to make and sing songs like these. Out every day, days on end in a tiny boat. Well, sing us that bit that you know.
Now is the time for fishing. If you mean to have a try, get your tankland ready. It's no use to keep them dry. Shoot your nets out on the briny and haul them in again, and you'll get a funny shimmer in the morning. They are, I went and cleared my throat and they are. No, I can go for another month.
Well, let's have Grey Grimsby then.
What?
Grey Grimsby.
Oh, sailing over the Dogger Bank wasn't it a treat? The wind a-blowing about east north-east, so we had to give a sheet. You ought to see us rally, the wind a-blowing free, a passage from the Dogger Bank to Great Grimsby. So watch ye the trigger, for up a Jews. Give a sheet, let her rip with the boys to put her through. You ought to see us rally, the wind a-blowing free, a passage from the Dogger Bank to Great Grimsby. Now our captain, he's a Shanghai who she likes a drop of good ale. Our matey is a Ripstone picker, he been seen in many a jail. Our third and he's a bush ranger, he come from the African Nile. And you give a look at our old cook, he is so uppity wild. So watch ya twigger, for up a Jew. Give a sheet, let her rip with the boys to put her through. You ought to see us ready, the wind a-blowing free, a passage from the Dogger Bank to Great Grimsby. Now we are the boys to make a noise when we come home from sea. We get right drunk, we roll on the floor and cause a jubilee. We get right drunk and full of beer and roll all over the floor. And when our rent it is all spent, we'll go to sea for more. So watch ye the twigger, the proper Jews. Give her sheet, let her rip with the boys to put her through. You ought to see us rally, the wind a-blowing free, a passage from the Dogger Bank to Great Grimsby. That one, that old song, you know. Oh, they are. When I was a little boy, we used to sing the chorus of them. Then I picked it up as you went along. You pick them up, and that's how you get them.
But of course, they aren't all about fishing. There are some songs about farming, too. Well, making hay.
'Twas in the pleasant month of May, in the springtime of the year. It was down by yonder meadows, there runs a river clear. Look at those little fishes, see how they sport and play. Make many a lad and many a lass go there for to make hay. Now in comes the jolly sizeman, the hay for to mow down, with his good old leathern bottle and the bear that is a brown. There's many of stout labouring men go there their skill to try, for they cut, they smow, they lace, they glow, and the grass got very dry. Oh, no, that's the chorus. I won't sing the chorus, but I can't go on again. Now in comes the jolly sizeman with a in comes the jolly sizeman with a pitchfork and the rake. And likewise black-eyed Susan, the hay all for to make. There was a long jog, jog and sweet jog, and the nightingale did sing. From the morning till the evening we went a making. Now the day being almost over and night was coming on, we laid among the cocks of hay till rising of the sun. Then the larks did sing most gloriously, and each harmless bird did sing. Then each lady took his lassie, and they went a making. That's a little ditty.
And a good one, too. They were pretty uninhibited, some of those songs. A lot of them, in fact. To hell with false modesty, they said. This is what we're interested in. And they sang about it. And lovely songs they are, too.
As I was got walking one morning in May, I met a fair damsel, these words she did say. I'm a fast-going clipper, and that you can see, I'm a ready for cuttering to my own country's free, singing Fellerelladdy, right Fellerelladdy, Fellerelladdy, right. In London city there dwelt a maiden, and her name I do not know. I courted her all for her beauty, but she would always answer no. No, sir, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir, for she would always answer no, sir, no. Her husband was a Spanish captain, 7 long years he'd been away. An old man once courted me, I dinged him down. An old man once courted me, I dur him down. An old man once courted me, vain would he had married me. Ways when you're young, never wed an old man.
Well, that's one side of the story. But when the sailors were away at sea, well, that was another side of it. The boot was on the other foot.
Now come list, you seamen, unto me, for these few lines to you I'd write, just to let you know how the game go on when you are out of sight. Just to let you know how the lads on shore go sporting with your wives when you are out on the raging seas, all venturing your sweet lives. Now a fast farewell of my true love, she then began to cry. Oh no, my love, the end did cry, I bobbed up to sea. Straightway to her lover she would go, these words to him would say. Oh, meet me down to the dog-yard gates, and wait till I come out. For this very day we'll spend as half pay, and we'll bring both ale and stout. Now the day being spent with sweet content, and his half pay is no more. Never mind, my love, she then did say, my lover is working hard for more. Perhaps he's at the topmast head, all shivering in the cold, or perhaps it is what's below our joys we can't behold.
If these songs touch the springs of laughter, they can also tell sad and tragic tales of true love broken by the sea.
In Scarborough town a young damsel did dwell. She loved a young sailor, she loved him full well. when they were about to marry. It was this young man's lot, instead of a married life, a watery gravy god. As we were got sailing through Robin Hood's Bay, the wind came down on us, and dismal was the day. The wind came down all on us, and the seas like lions roared, which tossed these poor sailors all on the lee shore. Now as they were got swimming, yes, swimming for their lives, some of them had sweethearts, and some of them had wives. But this poor young man, it was to be his lot, instead of marrying a watery gravy god. Now as soon as this fair maid these tidings did hear, she tore it off her ringlets, she tore it off her hair, crying, "Come all you cruel billows, come toss my love on shore, so that I may behold his sweet features once more." Now as she was got walking down by the seaside, she met a young sailor washed up all by the tide, and soon as she saw him, she immediately did stand, for she knew it was her own true love by the marks on his right hand. And now that I have found this young love, my love I do adore, I'll kiss him, I'll embrace him 10,000 times o'er. I'll be happy and contented, I lay down by his side, and the very next day morning this pretty fair maid died. Now in Scarborough fair town this young couple do lay, and written on their tombstone in full memory, "Come all you royal lovers, this way as you pass by, think of those unfortunate couple who now here do lay."
And lastly, part of a strange song Sam remembered one day, Napoleon's Dream, a Republican ballad, I suppose, of, the 1840s perhaps.
Now as a soldier I've borne both the heat and the cold, I've marched to the trump and the cymbal, by the dark deeds of tragedy I have been sold, though mortals before me did tremble. You rulers and princes their stations do mean, like scorpions they spat out their venomous vein. But as liberty all over the world shall be seen, as I awoke from my dreams, cried Napoleon. Napoleon's Dream. Now, that's right. Look, by the dark deeds of tragedy I have been sold, though mortals before me did tremble. That's right. That's all in history, isn't it? Now, that's an old one. You can put that in your pipe and tell them they ain't heard that on the wireless. I don't
That was the third program of songs sung from his memory by Sam Larner. This recorded program was edited and introduced by Philip Donnelan.